Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. If this is the first time you're seeing my face, hi, my name is Aijay, and if you're a returning subscriber, thank you so much for tuning in once again. So today's video is going to be a tutorial on how to achieve the halo eye makeup look I had previously shown you guys. I had also done a detailed tutorial on how I achieved these brows. I'm going to leave a link to that, so be sure to watch that as well. Before we also proceed, if you're yet to subscribe to my channel, please guys take a second to click that subscribe button and also turn on your post notification. So without wasting much of your time, let's get straight into this video. So now I start off by applying concealer all over my lid, the same concealer that I used to define underneath my brows, because this concealer is going to serve as a base for my eyeshadows. I'm only pressing that into my skin. I also didn't set the concealer with any powder, so I started up with this shade called Nana from the Juvia's Place Magic Palette. I tried to build the color on my lid and then I started blending it out. So obviously when you start, just try and tap the shade in your transition area, and then when the color payoff is what you want, then you can start blending it out. So I'm just using small circular motions to like blend out the edges. So next up, I'm going into the shade called Kogi from the same Magic Palette, and I'm putting that into my crease, which is slightly below the transition area, and I'm using the same technique that I used for the transition, which is packing the color onto my crease and then blending in short circular motions. If you want, I want the color payoff to be intense, so I go back and forth to build the shade to my satisfaction. So I go between the brush that I used for my transition area, blend that edge out, go back into the brush for the crease, apply more color into the crease, go back to the transition area, blend that out, back and forth, like that, you get, until you move to the next one. So right now I'm going to start defining the halo part of the makeup, and I'm using this shade called Ife. It's a very dark, cool toned purple bluish color, and I'm putting that into that's slightly below the crease now. So I'm putting it at the edge and the inner corner, so I'm trying to like build that color from the edge and in the inner corner as well. So I'm going to continue packing the color into the inner corner and the outer V area and joining them as well, because I'm going to be cutting my crease. I'm going to be cutting my lid in the middle part so that you create a sandwich effect. That's pretty much what the halo eye is all about. So I'm going to keep blending that purple color into the transition area and the crease. So you want to make sure that there are no harsh lines. In as much as you're trying to like build the color, don't forget to blend that out. So I also went ahead to apply some concealer to my brow bone area, because I sort of like, I felt like the transition color was getting too high up. I don't like a situation whereby the transition shade covers up my my brow bone color. So I went there to like define that a little bit. So moving back to the lid, I'm going to take this concealer from the Ferracucci concealer palette, and I'm going to use that to start cutting my lid. Like I said before, you're going to cut the lid just in the middle, because that's where you're supposed to have the effect, the halo effect, and that's where like the main lid color would be going. So I'm only cutting the middle part of my lid with the concealer. So what I'm doing is I'm just trying to like get the perfect shape and blend it out nicely before I go over that with my lid color. So going back into that Magic Palette, I'm going into that shade called Borno, and I'm going to start picking that up with a small flat shader brush and then start applying that shade onto my lid, the space I've created on my lid basically. And because the brush is tiny, it helps me to get into the the corners of the where I cut the crease, that sharp corner right there. So it helps me get into that part. So that's what I'm doing. So after that, I'm going to go back into the purple shade, and I'm going to start using that to blend the two edges of the halo, like where they meet. So now I'm trying to blend out the harsh lines between the gold and the purple. So just try and blend that out on both ends. So blend this and blend the inner part, and that's pretty much it. So I keep blending the edges to make sure that there are no harsh lines, and then I also tapped the other side slightly because I felt like that was too light. So I went on to add some liquid glitter to my crease, and this is to further like define that cut crease area. And then I just liked the fact that it was glittering, so yes, I wanted to use glitter. I'm also going to apply that glitter to my inner corner like much later. Anyway, so once I'm done with that, I'm going to move on to some lashes. I applied Peperenpe. This is from the Aijay lashes as usual, from the foaming collection. Then I went on to apply some face primer. This is the Zaron face primer, and then I added some foundation. The foundation I'm going to use is the Black Opal Stick foundation in Beautiful Bronze. I realized that this foundation needs to warm up a little bit on your skin, and I also try to spray the brush as well with some setting spray so that I can move the product and blend it into my skin. I use circular motions to like just work the product into my skin, because sometimes when the brush is not wet or you don't warm up the product very well, it doesn't blend properly, and that can be annoying sometimes. So after that I'm going to move on to highlighting. I'm going to highlight the parts of my face that light would naturally hit, which is my T-zone area, down the bridge of my nose, my under my eyes, my jaw, you know the drill. That's just pretty much. And Wikitel brought me some plantain, to step down, but unfortunately he burnt the plantain.
So I've eaten the buns of wings, so this is the better size.
Why not shop am now? For just miss, I'm not even chopping plenty.
No, that one I'll go buns of wings.
If this one is not
that one is worse than this.
if this is not burnt plantain, I don't understand what burnt is in your dictionary. Wiki there.
No, this one is burnt, that one is burnt test. Because I don't have this.
Anyway, moving on. He brought me burnt plantain, and he was saying that he has eaten the burnt part and then he brought the better part, and I'm like, if you ate the burnt one and then this is supposed to be the better part, like I don't understand, guys. Anyway, I went ahead to like start blending out the foundation, to blend out my concealers, and then I also set my face with the Sascha Buttercup setting powder. I set the areas of the face that I applied concealer to, and then I went ahead also to use my face powder, which is the MAC Studio Fix foundation. I can't even talk again. The MAC Studio Fix powder to dust off the excess powder and set the rest of my face. Now I moved on to contouring, just to bring some warmth back to my face. I used the House of Tara powder palette. I used the darker shades to like bronze up my face and stuff like that, and then contour my nose slightly. Yeah, and that's pretty much it. And I was just dancing. Anyway, so moving on to highlighting. This product I'm using is from Makeup Revolution. No, not Makeup Revolution, it's Freedom Highlight Palette, and I just mixed 2 shades there to highlight my face. So moving on to the bottom lashes now. Those 2 shades right there, I'm going to start blending that into my lower part of my eye. I started with the Kogi, I believe, yeah, and then I went into that with the Ife, just to try and imitate the same thing I have going at the top. And then yeah, this is what I was saying before. I applied the same liquid glitter to my inner corner just slightly, and I feel like that just brought the entire look together. I also went ahead to apply liquid lipstick from Colourpop Cosmetics. And that is all for this tutorial. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please give this video a thumbs up. Also sound off below in the comment section below. Let me know what you think, and don't forget to follow me on my social media platforms. It's Makeupbyaijay on Instagram, on Twitter, and on Snapchat. And I'll see you guys in my next one. Bye.